Good morning, Kim.
Hey Brian, how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Good, hanging in there.
All right. Well, it's been a good day so far. So
Yes, it has.
let's keep chugging along here.
Be happy when I'm done putting out fires and can just work, but we're getting there.
Right, right. Yeah, it's always a challenge.
For sure.
All right. We don't need to see my ugly mug this morning.
I'm sitting in the basement with a hoodie on, so I usually don't turn my camera on.
Okay, yeah, right. Well, considering this is, public and live, maybe that's the way to go.
Yeah. We don't typically have much public participation though, do we?
We typically have absolutely zero.
Yeah.
So that is just.
That's too bad because it's some pretty interesting discussion,
Yeah, and it does. It's connected to how people live. That's for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's an early step in the process. Once some of these projects come to fruition, people seem to, have more input.
Oh yeah. I can't remember where I read it. This orange barrel syndrome, where barrels come out. That's when people go, "Holy crap! What are they doing?"
Yeah, it's a little late at that point.
Which is approximately a year too late.
At least, we're years out from some of these projects. So.
Right. Well, I see Maya has joined us. Good morning, Maya.
Good morning, and I have renamed myself.
I see that. Yes, very good. I will know who you are.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're fired up here. We're live on Facebook. We got the screen sharing going. We got the agenda up, and we are where we are here.
Yeah, and it's all working. Awesome.
Right. Move my keyboard out of the way so I can.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Mike. Morning, Thor.
Good morning. By the way, I did hear back from Jay on those mumble strips, Brian.
Oh,
And yeah, I didn't realize that was an 8-foot shoulder on M20. So
wow.
Yeah, that takes care of any concerns I had.
Very good.
Yeah, and those are mumble strips, not rumble.
Wow. And did you get any insight as to what the technical differentiation is there between mumble and rumble?
Yeah, in fact, I did look at it online. I think I may have sent you the link. I don't know, but yeah, he confirms this. Jay says they are less deep, not as steep, so they don't generate as much noise. And looking at it, it's really an issue of noise for people who live in the area when cars hit the rumble strips. And it actually was developed, I think, partially California, Minnesota, and in Europe. And so where they have a lot more concerns about noise issues. In Europe, they put a lot of walls up along the highways and so to cut noise and so.
Right.
And it's actually a sinusoidal pattern that I read that they put into the strips in terms of the depth of the strips and so to make them a little more smoother And so, and not as rough,
Oh.
but you still feel the vibration inside the vehicle.
Fascinating. All right. Yeah, I have to look into that.
Mhm.
Good morning, Jan.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
What's that clicking I'm hearing?
Sounds like water dripping.
It does. It's a bad sign.
Good morning, Maya. Kevin here.
Good morning, Kevin. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
That pretty good.
All right.
Thanks for joining. We'll be starting in a couple of minutes. We're just waiting for a couple more people to log on.
Yeah, we have quite a few already. 15 people on this meeting right now.
Yeah, I think it looks like we pretty much have everybody that I expected to join. So I think we can
Yeah.
start anytime.
Maya, is it okay then if I start?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, so Brian, are you able to do the roll call?
I will do a roll call if you don't mind. Yes. So
Okay, that,
Russ Inman, Jay Rife.
Here. Yep, here.
Present.
All right. Mitch Huber,
Present.
Jurgens.
here,
Here. All right. Sorry, I went a little too fast there. Gary Rogers,
Here.
Eric Sprague, Maria Sandow, Mike Wood,
Here.
Kevin Ray,
Here.
Jim Lillo, Ian Armentrout,
Yes, here.
and Thor Brecht.
I'm here.
Okay, and I see we have some others as well, and I will get those names of non-committee participants from the list on Zoom here.
all right. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
No changes to the agenda.
Awesome. So has everyone had a chance to review the November 18th minutes? I would be looking for a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved. Russ Inman.
Court Rifle.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Moving on to reports of officers. Maya, you want to go ahead and call on folks?
Sure. Would the Midland County Road Commission like to start?
Okay. Our 2021 urban project is Poseyville Road from Gordonville up to the city of Midland. You can hear me all right, correct?
Yes.
All right. Because the project has the Midland Township trail within the road right away, we are going to be holding an open house event within the next 3 weeks. I still have to figure out the details on that. It's probably going to be a Microsoft Teams live event, but to get the federal requirements for NEPA, because it's classified as a Section 4F property, which is recreation, we have to have the open house, and so hopefully we get that done and satisfied in the next 3 weeks, and then obligation can proceed, because it always seems like something, and we don't want to lose those urban funds at all. I'm not sure if this is brought up in past meetings, but we received official word in late November, early December, that a TAP grant, a transportation alternative grant that we applied for the Smith Crossing bridge over to Tibbetawasi. It's a historic bridge, 1 lane. It's a project that's going to be used as a connecting bridge for the Freeland to Midland non-motorized trail. They'll ultimately become an extension or a link in the Iron Bell Trail system. So that was approved. There's like 8 different players involved in that, the community foundation and such, for fundraising. And that, if everything goes as planned, it'll be a 2023 construction. So fingers crossed that everything goes as planned. We have a couple bridge projects. This year, our Coleman Road Bridge over the Chippewa River, that's getting built. So that's going to be starting here in the next few months. We have, next year, we have a couple bridges going on Meridian Road, a bridge deck replacement on over Pine River, and a bridge deck rehabilitation over the Chippewa River. So that's going to be happening next year. Those are also using critical bridge funding, local bridge program funding. And let's see, our Freeland Sass roundabout project, that's in the final review phase right now. We just got word from Dow that there's 3 brine lines. We thought there was 1, and we've been through all this utility stuff over a year ago. But turns out they're saying there's 3 more, or 3 in total. And so next week they're going to be exposing those so we can see how that's going to impact our roundabout project. But that's project is supposed to be built this year. So with the final turn in by the end of this week, we're hoping they'll get a letting in the next couple months here and then constructed this summer. Those are the main ones. That's all I have.
Thanks, Russ. I would like to add that the non-motorized project, that's Smith Crossing Bridge, is actually part of our TIP amendment approved on the agenda later on. So this project is basically moving through process and will be up for your approval later on in the meeting.
Hey, Russ, congrats on that TAP grant. There's a lot of work into that, I know. So good job.
Oh yeah. The Midland Area Community Foundation has just been amazing. They spearheaded it, and between them and the Great Lakes Bay Trail people, there's a lot of influence behind this. The Dow Family Foundation has contributed. It's huge.
There's a lot of match in that one.
Oh yeah, it's a $4.6 million project.
Wow. Russ, this is Thor. On the Poseyville meeting you put in a half, I was thinking of sending a note out to the Tri-City Cyclists when you get that date set on that.
I will be sure to send the information to Maya and have her send it out to everybody as well. I just have to, I totally forgot that we couldn't have the public meeting still. So the open house plan got scrapped, and I'm working out those details. Hopefully by the end of tomorrow, I'll have stuff set and advertised.
Great.
Perfect. City of Midland.
I can speak on Dial-A-Ride.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Oh, there we go. Here's Shane. Jan, would you mind if Shane goes first?
Not at all.
Go ahead, Shane.
Sorry, I was on mute. Hi, this is Shane Bjorgi with the City of Midland. We're getting ready to construct our Saginaw Dartmouth project here this coming summer. And that's on target to go. And we're also in the design phase of the Sugnet Extension project, which is scheduled to construct in 2022. And that's all I had.
Thanks, Shane. Jan, go ahead.
Dial-A-Ride continues to operate under all its normal operating hours. Our passenger count has really been up and down, up and down. Right now we're hovering at about 250 rides per day. We're normally around 400 this time of year. A lot of it just depends on what the governor opens up and what the governor closes. So when schools are closed, of course, our ridership goes down. We noticed a couple of other areas being opened up this week, like Seasons Adult Daycare. So that offered us a few more rides here and there. So basically we're, scheduling drivers to make sure we're able to provide service to those who need it, but we are scheduling less drivers per day.
County Connection of Midland, Gary, do you have an update?
Yes, not a whole lot. Kind of, we're thinking what the dollar ride is. Our ridership is definitely way down. We're normally running between 300 to 375 a day. We're probably averaging only about 150 a day. So we're continuing to maintain our hours that we were before to try to be available as much as possible, especially for medical and work. We started back in December 1st again to do free fare ride for work and medical only. They get once a week, they get a free ride for groceries. So other than that, it's a just medical and for work as a free ride. But we still have some of our staff laid off. At this point in time, there's not a whole lot that we can do. I mean, we're just way down in ridership, and until that starts opening back up, we're going to be probably just the same dollar ride. Other than that, nothing else to report.
All right. Saginaw County Road Commission, Dan?
We don't have any in the urban area. We don't have any 2021 or 2022 projects, but I do have a 2023 project, and I have the design RFPs. They are due Monday from consultants to do the design. We do have our one ER project in the area that I'm still waiting on authorization to proceed with that design on Freeland Road with a big cross culvert, but a couple of railroad crossings, but we're good.
Thanks. I don't think we have Jim Lila from Bay County Road Commission on this meeting. MDOT, Kim, Jay, or Tina, do you guys have any updates?
I can provide a brief update on the M30 Causeway Bridge up at the Midland Gladwin County line. So contractors marching right along with that. We did have them working, well, I guess it was their choice, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week there for a little while, driving some of that sheet pile. So we're looking good as far as hitting our mid-February open date. Next week, they're going to start assembly of that temporary Acro Bridge. And then I think they're looking the first week in February, last week in January, to start launching that bridge out over the waterway. So that'll be great to have that reopened soon. That's all I really had, unless Jay had anything else to add on anything.
More to add to that.
If I may add, I have processed an administrative modification regarding M20 project. That project was supposed to be done in 2023. It's a huge project, road rehabilitation along M20. That project has now been pushed up to 2022 because emergency funding has been provided for the replacement of M20 of the Prairie Creek Bridge, and MDOT is coordinating the two projects together. So this is great. Basically, work is going to be done sooner than expected. One other update that I have is regarding projects that require historical preservation review. More detail has been provided recently by MDOT of the changes and what needs to be done. There are two things that local agencies would need to provide if they have to go for the historical preservation review. They'll have to provide a copy of a posted FHWA letter dated October 16, 2020. And they also will have to provide either a screenshot of TIP showing that the project is on a TIP, or a letter from the administrative body, for example, like LAP or RTF, that project has been approved by that body. So just for everybody, for all the local implementing agencies to know what the new process is.
All right, then we can move on to agency reports.
Yes. All right. Just to let you know what's happening regarding MATS meetings. Up until end of March, we are under the same format, i.e., all the meetings will be of a virtual form. If after March things change and we are required to have in-person meetings, we will do that, but we will also provide the virtual access for people. So if anybody decides that they would rather still a social distance and not come to the in-person meetings, there will be ability for them to participate in a meeting. I also wanted to know to everybody know the election of the results for 3 small municipality representatives and the NMT representative. This was part of our approved effort to coordinate all the elections for MATS positions for the on our boards at the same time. So Larkin Township, Lincoln Township, and Jerome Township have been elected as the 3 small municipality representatives, and their term is from January 2021 through December 2022. So it's a two-year term. Again, we are synchronizing all the terms of office to 2 years. And Thorbrecht has been elected as the NMT representative, again for the same 2-year term, starting January 2021. In terms of MATS work update, we have been working on long range planning. We have back in November, we have finalized the SC data, the future SC data, and send it to SUDA division. We have been working on few other things that SUDA requires for them to be able to run some scenarios on the model. We have sent out the amendment transmittal to MDOT regarding the project changes that you have approved at the back in at the November meeting. We have also processed a few administrative changes. For example, like that M20 project that has been moved up from year 2023 to 2022. We have been working, especially Brian, on the NMT plan update, and we actually have a meeting regarding that this afternoon. And then also we have prepared the end of calendar year reports, and they are available to you, and they are also posted on our website. That's it regarding the MATS update.
Okay. All right, so let's move on to item 6, unfinished and new business, MATS tip amendment. Maya.
Yes, so we have 4 projects that are up for your review and hopeful approval. Project number 1 is the non-motorized project. That's the Smith Crossing Bridge, and that have received a conditional approval regarding the TAP funding. So that's why it and therefore it is being added to a tip, and it requires your approval. The second project is the other improvements at one of the rail crossings, and that's within Saginaw County. It's that improvement at Carter Road. And then the remaining 2 entries pertaining to one project, they are PE and con phases of the road capital preventive maintenance along M30, which is expected to happen in 2021. So again, this is a new project with 2 phases of that project, and that also requires your approval and your recommendation to the policy board for their approval.
I have Maya, with the first one, the 2023, the bridge.
Mhm.
I did see a new estimate that was revised in November, and the new total, because they're making us add the stuff that's not federal funds into that, just like the PECE and all that stuff. I did see a new estimate that says it's like 4.6 million. So any approval on this, I would, I would like it to be contingent on us correcting those numbers.
Absolutely, and this MDOT personnel within the TAP division actually enters project like that. So I'm sure it's on their list to update it, but I'll coordinate with them to make sure it's done. So yes, we can update that project on it being.
I apologize. I'm dumb. I apologize. I'm dumb. I see that it's listed right there, 4.7 million under total.
Okay, so it's already been done.
I apologize. Sorry.
All right, is there any other discussion regarding this TIP amendment?
I'll make the motion to approve these TIP amendments.
Thank you. Could I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed?
If I could get, pardon me for interrupting, if I could get everyone, when you make a motion or second a motion, please mention your name, because otherwise I really have no idea who did that. If you could please let me know who made that motion and who seconded it, I would really appreciate it.
Dan Armentrout made the motion from Saginaw County.
Mitch Huber seconded. M. Lansing.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Brian. Okay, so let's move on to the next item B, January 21st elections of officers for the technical committee.
Yes, so as part of overall synchronization of elections for all the positions on Matt's boards, we need to have elections for chair and vice chair of a technical board, which is this board. Matt's staff, we have not received any nominations till this point. So I guess we're still open for nominations.
I'd like to nominate Jan for the chair.
Well, unfortunately, I would like to accept, and I would, but I'm retiring March 31st.
Oh.
And it is a 2-year term starting January.
I guess you can't retire for another 2 years then.
Yeah.
I'll nominate Russ Inman for chair.
I liked that long blink, Russ.
Yeah.
All right, Russ Inman has been nominated for chair. Any other nominations for chair? Are there any
not here? Who's not here that we can nominate?
Lilo.
That's what I was thinking.
Any nominations for vice chair?
I'd like to nominate Dan Armentrout for vice chair.
Any other nominations for vice chair? All right, we have 1 nomination for chair and 1 nomination for vice chair.
All right. So I would be, do I need to have a motion at this point, or just can I go from the nominations?
I think it could be done either way since they are single nominations.
Okay. All right. So all those in favor of Russ and Mr. Armentrout, Russ being the chair for the Matt's technical committee, and Mr. Armentrout being the vice chair of the Matt's Technical Committee for the next 2 years, please say aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thanks, I think.
Hey, yeah, thank you.
All right, so let's move on to item C, non-motorized planning.
And Brian will provide an update. He's been working long hours on this project.
Well, all right. So our update is we're having a meeting today of the NMT committee, as Maya mentioned previously. And what we're hoping to present at that meeting basically is an essentially final list of NMT projects that will go in the NMT plan. The NMT plan itself is, again, essentially a final draft at this point. Although we're always looking for comments and adjustments and so forth. And then we have a couple of maps which have been painstakingly produced by the courtesy of the Midland County Road Commission. We're very thankful for their help and assistance on this, along with assistance from the Midland County GIS department. So there's some new maps going in the plan. All of that is on the cloud link. And if anyone would like that has not been provided that, I can get that to you if you'll just quickly shoot me an email. That meeting is at 2 o'clock today. So we're very near the conclusion of the plan work. And we hope to get that to the technical committee and the policy committee at their very next meeting. So that's pretty much the end of my updates, unless I've overlooked something.
Brian, this is Thor. Are the new maps supposed to be separate files on that link?
No, I think, let's see, what did I do? I put them in the plan.
Okay, so
And,
they're actually part of the
upload
plan,
them
so
to
they're
the
reduced size.
Yes,
Okay,
sorry.
Can you,
Should send them separately, but I'll do that after the meeting.
okay.
All right.
I appreciate that. It'd be easier to read if I had them a little bigger.
Sure thing.
All right, moving on to item 6D, asset management.
All right, regarding asset management, TAMC has released a couple of documents specifying, providing an update regarding 2021 PASER data collection. They are allowing two-person teams to do the federal aid collection. Both people have to be certified, and the virtual trainings, the dates have been posted. I believe everybody have received that. If not, I'll be happy to forward those dates to the implementing agencies. I would implore you to do that training earlier rather than later. Please do not wait till June. And this is because we actually need to do some of the data collection in a spring when in April or thereafter, when we allow to start doing data collection, because we would like to utilize the remaining funds that were extended from year 2020, since we were not able to do any data collection last year. So in order not to, in order to be able to utilize those funds, we do need to do some data collection before June, between April and June. I also wanted to indicate that provide a quick update regarding asset management plans that the larger implementing agencies are required to do. The state attorney general has reviewed the information and has indicated that since the deadline for preparations of the asset management plan for some of those agencies was last year by October, those agencies are now in non-compliance. TAMSI has indicated that as of this time, there will be no action taken regarding holding Act 51 funds. However, that may come in the future. So again, I implore the agencies that are behind on those plans to do them as soon as possible, and the agencies that need to prepare those plans in about 1.5 years time to start working on them, to have them done on time. Are there any questions regarding those two items? All right, that's it regarding 6D then.
All right, then let's move on
I'm
to.
sorry, I had one quick question. For the two-person team, I'm comfortable with 2 people from Saginaw County Road Commission doing the stuff, doing the reviews. Does it need to be 1 person from the Road Commission and 1 from planning? I was a little fuzzy on those requirements.
Yes, unfortunately, TAMSI was very prescriptive about that. For the federal aid network, it needs to be either MPO person if it's within the MPO area, or from or an RPO person if it's outside, if it's in a rural area. And the second person can be either a person from the implementing agency, or a person that the implementing agency, for example, Saginaw County Road Commission, designates as their representative. So unfortunately, they were super prescriptive. So it has to be 2 people from 2 different agencies, and one of them has to be an MPO RPO person. We were lobbying for it be just 2 people, as long as they are certified to do the PASER ratings. TAMSI has decided to be much more prescriptive.
Okay, so from a scheduling standpoint, I guess who from the MPO would we schedule with then? Who actually does the ratings for the MPO?
It's either Brian or myself. Depending on our schedules, and we'll do everything in our power to make it feasible. So we will be talking to you, shortly. Well, your situation is a little bit more complicated, actually, for Tittabawassee Township, because the way PASER was set up in the beginning, it was set up on the maps and the network are set up per county basis. We actually were coordinating with the other 2 MPOs so that their staff actually went out and did those networks within the account. It was just easier in terms of downloading the networks and then uploading it back again. So we will talk with Dimitra and make sure that we do that we have Tittabawassee Township covered. Or we will go out but we will figure it out. One thing that I forgot to mention is that TAMSI is requesting that 100% of federal aid network be collected this year. So obviously we do that normally. So we don't anticipate any problems doing it, but we will make sure that the Tittabawassee Township and then Williams Township and City of Auburn is done as well. We will coordinate with the other 2 MPOs to make sure.
I got a question. Will MDOT be providing somebody to go with the MPO people to rate their roads then?
That's Russ, we're still waiting on that kind of direction to see what we're going to do. We don't really have a policy yet for putting people back in.
Okay.
I was asked if TAMSI's had any discussion, because obviously with COVID, this is an issue and a challenge. Would they ever consider putting additional funds in there so that maybe the people that were participating do rapid testing prior to being vehicle together? It's not 100%, but at least it's something. Otherwise we're waiting, you're gonna be waiting past spring into early summer before we have any direction, I bet.
So I think what we need to do is we need to figure out a way to be able to do data collection, assuming that MDOT cannot. If they determine that they can provide personnel and the vehicle, great. But I think we have to determine a plan as if they cannot, to not be kind of left short, especially since we do need to start collecting early and we do need to collect everything. And then also, if the implementing agencies would like to, if we have any funds left over, we can do the local collection on the local data network, and we'll be happy to help with that too.
Thanks, Maya. I guess from a scheduling standpoint, Saginaw County, I would hope that, my plan would be to rate ours later in the summer because we have a lot of chip seal projects scheduled. And if you rate them too early, then we're not going to get credit for them. So I want to rate Tittabawassee Township later in the season anyway. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else on item 6D? Then let's move on to item 6E, Matt's STUL program.
Yes, this is a funding that's provided to an MPO from the feds for transportation projects. City of Midland has had a project programmed that was approved as part of our 2020 to 2023 TIP. Jefferson Road project was programmed in fiscal year 2023. Due to a lot of projects that City of Midland has, including two pretty substantial projects already on the STL program for 2021 and 2022, they are requesting to move that project, the Jefferson Road project, from fiscal year 2023 to fiscal year 2024. Now, we do not have any projects programmed for 2024 yet. That normally takes place about a year from, that would take place a year from now, filling in all the projects for 2024, basically confirming the projects for 2023 and filling in the projects for 24, 25, and 26. So it's basically a two-pronged thing that needs to be determined and action taken. First one is the approval of moving that Jefferson Road project from fiscal year 2023 to fiscal year 2024, and then determination of what to do with the $332 that were assigned to the Jefferson Road projects for fiscal year 23, which if you approve portion one, it now becomes available. And there are two things that can be done regarding those funds. You can either assign those funds to the other two projects that are programmed for fiscal year 2023, or you can put forward a brand new project to utilize that funding.
I would ask if we, since this is 23, if we could maybe table it for this meeting and come back to it next meeting.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can think about that. Determine what's best. Put forward proposals to be discussed, to be determined at the next meeting. Absolutely.
Also, one question. I didn't think we could do anything beyond 2023 because that's outside this TIP.
Well, we cannot program anything in JobNet. However, you can you can you can determine what projects you want beyond, beyond the tip years, if you so desire, as long as there is agreement from everybody that those are the projects that you want in those beyond tip years. You can have that. We just cannot put them in a job net at this point.
Do we know right now if anybody's 2023 projects are underfunded?
Well, the projects that we have, the other two projects that we have within the same program are Freeland Road projects by the Saginaw County Road Commission, and that's the total project cost that we have programmed that is at 600,000, with 400,000 coming out of the federal funds. And the other project is a Midland Road project by Bay County Road Commission. That project is the total project cost is 1.25 million, with only 250,000 coming out of STL funds. So yes, the Midland Road project has a very substantial local portion because of the project cost. So in a way, what you just asked, that would be the underfunded project, out of it too. But again, the decision doesn't have to be made today unless everybody's in agreement that you know what you want to do and how you want to change the funding. And obviously that also has to go to the policy for their approval. Your portion is to determine the action and provide recommendation to policy with the final approval comes from them.
I would agree with Russ that we should hold off on this, especially since Bay County's not here today. But if somebody could reach out to Bay County and have that discussion, and so they're aware that.
And the other thing is we haven't even considered projects for the future. Usually those go through a project selection committee. So that's kind of different than we've ever done before too. So
absolutely. What the city of Midland is asking is, since they already received approval from you earlier on to have a project to receive funding for fiscal year 2023, they ask, for this project to be moved to 2020 to 2024, basically just postpone it by a year to have a place in a program for this project. But they are releasing, basically they would like to release this 332,000 out of the fiscal year 2023 funds towards another project of, not their project, but towards a project of whatever is chosen from whichever implementing agency.
I'm comfortable with that. I think that's and I'm glad they're doing it now rather than wait until, the middle of, the earlier the better, because then you can plan ahead. But basically, yeah, it frees up funds in 2023, and we needed to figure out where to apply those funds. And I guess I'm only been here a year, so I'm still new to the group, but I'm not sure how, the whole equity of or your project selection stuff works. So, but yeah, I mean, to commit to a project that is a 2023 and bump it to 2024, I think we're safe to do that. It's just, I'm comfortable with that. It's just a matter of, we do need to make sure that we tie that money to a project somehow.
my only thought is maybe it goes back to the project selection committee. Just maybe we do look at the next 3 years. Unofficially, we can't put it in a tip, but that way we can all start planning, because this planning stuff is taking forever with NEPA and all the requirements now. So anything that we have more time is going to be to everybody's benefit.
We can, if you so desire, if a technical board so desires, you can resurrect the project selection committee right now and determine the projects, relook at the 2023 project, 2023 program, and determine the projects for 2024 and whatever year beyond you want. We don't have to wait, till next year when it normally would happen. You can do it whenever you want.
I kind of like that idea.
So for everybody's information, project selection committee is that board is made up of all the implementing agencies. So all the agencies that could have a project in the works, those agencies get together and they are the ones that determine what projects are recommended to the policy board, first to the technical and then to the policy board for the approvals. Everybody basically has a seat at the table. All the implementing agencies have a seat at the table in the determination of projects.
Plus, it's a round table. You bring your projects and there's discussions and it's not rushed, which is nice. And 'cause
Absolutely, yes.
we have time.
Yes, it's done. It's a coordination and cooperation of all our implementing agencies.
Do you want to maybe set something up, Maya, or explore that?
So is that determination of this board to resurrect the project selection committee and determine and relooked at the program for 2023 and 2024?
I would say 23, 24, and the next step. So we have 3 years.
Oh, sure, absolutely. 2024.
That's my thought.
Absolutely. And next, about a year from now, or so, our normal procedure is to convene that project selection committee because the next tip cycle comes along and we do need projects for 23 for 26 at that point. So about a year from now, we would need the projects for 23 for 26. So I don't know do you want to do like the whole thing through 26 or do you want to just stick with the 3 years for now? Because I mean, we would have to convene them, I think, at that a year from now anyway, just to make sure that at that point that all the projects are still the ones that are still desired by all the agencies, right?
I'd make a motion that we reconvene the project selection committee for years 23 through 26, 24, 20, or is it 27? 24 through 27.
For 26. The only thing that we don't have right now that we would have a better knowledge a year from now is the funding. What I can do is I can only really go with the funding that we know of so far. That funding a year from now is going to be updated, but the difference is we are talking $20,000 within a year, so it's not huge. We do know that the magnitude of the funding, right? Order of magnitude of funding. We do not know down to $1 at this point, but we know magnitude of funding. So I think that should be enough for everybody to be able to come up with the projects and with a prioritized list of projects.
Okay, Brian, this is Mike Wood. I'll support Russ's motion.
Okay, all those in favor of supporting Russ's motion, say aye.
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 All right, so I'll send out a doodle poll regarding this meeting and make sure that all the implementing agencies are aware of this meeting, are invited to the meeting, and we'll go from there.
All right, moving on to item 7. Any public comments?
There are no public comments that I can see so far.
Thank you, Brian. Well, then at this time, I guess I would call an adjournment at 10:51.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.
Maya, I
Brian?
want,
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Maya, I was going to mention to you that I am in the process of doing the 2021 Public Transportation Agency Safety Plan update.